And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the community for inviting me to speak today. Really very excited to see so many new faces, young faces, speaking about so many interesting topics. I here today am also gonna be talking, just like some of our speakers has mentioned just now. And today's topic of what I'm going to be speaking today is to be speaking about this revolutionary concept that we have been hearing on the news. I know we've been hearing about blockchain, we've been hearing about crypto, and now we've been hearing about the metaverse. So I would like to share a bit about the metaverse and what I have encountered throughout my years in the crypto industry. Because the concept of the metaverse is something that's, to me, very interesting because it's a very revolutionary concept that is able to change the way that we think about digital assets and virtual reality. Now, to give some background, the metaverse is more towards, it's actually a decentralized virtual world. Same thing like TikTok, Instagram. It's the front end of what we see that represents the technology that's of blockchain technology that's actually behind it. So it's ultimately built on the blockchain, and its goal, whoops, sorry, is to create a more immersive and interconnected platform that leverages on the power of digital assets and virtual reality to help bridge between people, to connect between people, to help people to be able to utilize and interact on the metaverse without knowing, without really interacting with the underlying technology that's under it. So you can think of metaverse as the front end of blockchain technology. It's like the user interface of a computer, which allows users to interact with the underlying technology without needing to really understand the technology behind it or the complex coding that makes it all works. In the same way, Metaverse provides a user-friendly interface that allows people to interact with the decentralized platforms and decentralized assets without necessarily needing to understand the underlying technical details of blockchain technology. A great example that I would always like to share with many audiences is the example of the backend technology of Linux. Linux is actually an open source operating system that powers many of the devices, from your Android phones that you guys have to operating systems like operating system that powers the lifts, Raspberry Pi. All these ultimately uses the backend technology of Linux. And while Linux may not be visible or many people may not know about it, it actually has the power and flexibility to power many of the technologies that we know. NASA is using Linux. Many of the military systems and softwares that we know out there are utilizing Linux. And same thing, Metaverse is ultimately utilizing a very strong technology, a very new and strong technology, blockchain technology. And it is entirely the front-facing user interface that allows for easier use so that people can get the benefits of blockchain technology without necessarily needing to know how to code, how to interact with it. So some of the benefits of the metaverse that we have, that we think are in place is that first thing, it's powered by blockchain technology. So just like the internet has enabled us to connect and communicate with people around the world, metaverse has the ability and potential to interact with each other in a more immersive and meaningful way by providing a shared virtual space that we can all explore. Think of it like a digital version of a city where you can actually own your own property. You can actually own the assets within it. If you play Mobile Legend or any of the games out there, you usually don't own the assets per se, but the company that creates the games actually own your assets. The metaverse allows for you to actually own your assets, to own your land, or to own your digital land. And it creates a new and exciting experience because right now the control is now moved from the centralized authorities that governs the system back to the people. So the people that actually interacts or network within the system has a bigger say in how the network and the system is being run.
This has the potential to create a new kind of economy that is more decentralized, more transparent, and more inclusive. For example, imagine a virtual marketplace where people from all around the world can buy and sell digital assets. So you're now no longer constrained to just geographical boundaries. You are able to transact with anyone from across the world, cryptocurrencies or digital collectibles, without needing to rely on a central system or middleman. All transactions are open on the blockchain. They are transparent and immutable. Think about having tax laws or tax implementation actually implemented into the system. But the kick is everyone that's participating in the system and network can see how these taxes collected and where this tax money is actually used. It can be verified, and it's basically open for all to look and to verify. Furthermore, Metaverse can provide platforms because it's a new form of interaction for new forms of creativity and innovation. So imagine a world where artists, musicians, and developers can come together to create and develop new forms of entertainment experiences and applications. So it ultimately also provides a way for people to connect with each other, new way to connect with each other. Think about online conferences, online concerts, where people can have new ways of interacting and communicating from the comforts of their home, but still able to experience new cultures and experiences from all around the world without having to leave their own city. So there are already many companies that are already integrating this into their systems, such as virtual showrooms, virtual concerts, or conferences. Pretty sure during the COVID era, there were a lot of virtual concerts that was going on, virtual conferences, just like how Eric has mentioned on virtual TEDx events. The Metaverse provides a way for people to interact within those virtual sessions to explore new ideas and concepts in a safe and controlled manner. My most favorite reference to this would be, have you guys ever watched the show Ender's Game? If not, I would highly recommend you guys to watch the show Ender's Game as well as Ready Player One. So Ender's Game is basically a story about the main character Ender that trains for combat against alien invasion through virtual reality and ultimately fights off the aliens through virtual simulation, right? This is something that we don't need an alien invasion for us to come to band together in a virtual reality concept. We have things like climate change, sustainability, air pollution. Those are causes that can allow for us to come together and interact within this virtual space to potentially, brings me to the next point. So Ender's Game combined with this game called Harvest Moon. I don't know if you guys have ever played it. So Harvest Moon is actually this game that allows you to farm and decide what happens in a farm. So imagine if you can connect these two things together. And this game and Harvest Moon, people interact and participate and decide on things on virtual reality and actually see things happen in real life. For example, if people want to come together, band together to push for climate change actions like talking about pollution and air pollution and things like that. So I think this ultimately is one of my favorite example of how I see the benefits of Metaverse actually taking shape in real life. But of course, there are many challenges when it comes to building a Metaverse. Same thing like you are building a physical city. There are many challenges that we are facing. Same like how the new capital is going to move over to Kalimantan. There's many challenges that we're going to face. There's a lot of things that to handle the skill and complexity of modern life is something that is going to be a big feat for us all. However, like what many of the speakers have highlighted, the key thing that we are emphasizing on is that all challenges, or at least most challenges, can be overcome as long as we band together, as long as we start to communicate and to talk about it, and then potentially come or potentially seek a solution. I think through collaboration and innovation, ultimately, we can create a metaverse that is more inclusive, transparent, and allows for people to interact, insight, and potentially solve real world problems that we're seeing nowadays. So in conclusion, I would like to say that the metaverse is a revolutionary concept that is changing the way we think about virtual reality and digital assets. Now, by leveraging the power of blockchain technology, now blockchain technology is another concept entirely. It's something that has intrigued me since 2015 when I first got exposed to the concept of Ethereum. But metaverse basically allows us to be able to easily interact with it within the system, within the virtual reality, without having to know about blockchain technology, and that's what amazes me. However, we still are far ways from seeing it being fully implemented. It really needs the likes of everyone here, fresh young students from Sampoerna and everyone that's participating to actually go in, be intrigued, go in and learn about what this new concept is. Same like what Joan mentioned as well. You can easily ask ChatGPT what metaverse is, and it will give you an explanation of it. But I think my ending would be I encourage all of you to really go in and explore the world of the metaverse and to see for yourself the transformative potential of this revolutionary platform. So once again, I thank you all for listening. I hope I have piqued your interest in this new concept. Go out, venture forth, and make sure that you equip yourself with the necessary tools and knowledge for you to venture safely in this space. Thank you.